Disclaimer: I conducted this interview shortly before the NEC's decision to postpone fall sports on July 29th. They will revisit this decision on October 1st. On this episode of the podcast, I interviewed Deputy Director of Bryant University Athletics, John Ruppert. We talk about the recruitment process during COVID-19, what fall sports will look like, the shortened football season, Bryant's basketball promising future with Coach Grasso, and much, much more. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I now welcome onto the podcast Bryant University's Deputy Director of Athletics, John Ruppert. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Cole. Thanks for having me.
So my first question is the recruiting process, and I know that's going to be very difficult during the COVID-19 when everything is shut down. Where are you seeing prospective Bryant athletes doing during this time where they actually can't see the campus?
Well, actually, we've actually had a lot of students come to campus. Campus is still open, and I know that admissions is still having online tours or tours on campus in person, but done through a virtual app. We tour the app, so instead of having a tour guide, you use your phone to tour campus. And we've had a lot of our prospective student athletes use that feature as well.
And going forward, do you see certain students like leaning towards Bryant where in the past they wouldn't, given this scenario, or no?
Well, all I would say there is I think that, Bryant has always been a very attractive campus and community for our student athlete population. And I think that given the whole COVID crisis that our campus lends itself to being a little bit of a more, hopefully a safer place, just because of the entrance and the way we are controlled. So I think that is definitely a selling point for Bryant with our future Bulldogs.
From an eligibility standpoint, what would happen if the season is cut short? Say the football season only gets in 3 games, then for whatever reason they have to cut it short. Would it still count towards a year of eligibility, or is that more NCAA derived?
Yeah, I can't answer that question right now because that's all hypothetical, and the NCAA really kind of sets those rules and policies. Obviously, the spring semester student athletes were able to regain a year of eligibility, but it would be just kind of pure speculation on my point to figure out what they would do.
I'm looking at major leagues such as the NBA, the NHL, and MLB. They're returning to play, and given that I'm a huge sports fan, whether that be Bryant or professionally, are you looking at any of the things that they're doing as something that could be implemented to ensure student athlete safety here on campus?
Well, obviously, the university is investing a lot in testing, and I think that our testing protocols for the student body in general are going to be almost similar to what the professional sport franchises are doing. So I think that we are in a very good position at Bryant with the testing that they're planning. So I think we'll be fine there.
When I look at conferences such as the Ivy League, the Patriot League, they've all canceled their fall sports. While the Northeast Conference on July 9th said that they will delay their start. Why does the NEC's decision differ from those conferences? I know Bryant was scheduled to play Brown football, I believe, week 2 of contest there. So I know from a scheduling perspective that could be very difficult when you're trying to work in games there in conference and out of conference. But why is the NEC deciding to still stick towards coming into the fall semester here?
A lot of it has to do with the president's schedule. So obviously a presidential decision, and they have meetings set on certain different on a schedule. And I think that basically they are waiting for the next meeting to make a decision.
If you were going forward here and you get Bryant sports back on campus and you have a football schedule, can fans be in the stands, or how is that being determined?
As of right now, we're following the Rhode Island Department of Health guidelines. So as of right now, there will not be necessarily off-campus fans, but we're planning on allowing students, faculty, and staff who are on campus as part of our testing protocols and university protocols to be able to go to games, again, within the Rhode Island Department of Health guidelines, setting up, social distancing and number of people in a space.
Going forward, like I'm still harping on the Bryant football season here. What do you think the biggest challenges will be to actually enact a full season of play?
Well, I don't think there will be a full season. We've already lost, obviously, the Ivy League games and I think the Rhode Island games. So I think there's going to be a modified season if we have one. So I don't think there won't be a full season. It'll be hopefully a full modified season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So do you think there will be any sorts of challenges that will be indicative of that? I know when I was reading up on the NEC website that they cited that the overnight stays will be frowned upon, kind of just containing it. I know we operate out of the positive of basically being in close contact with a lot of other schools in the conference. So travel wise, we're not as bad as some other conferences. But when we're playing the other schools there, do you see any other challenges of maybe a heightened contraction of getting COVID-19, and will the testing be like right after the games, or to see if like there's anything particular risk for those student athletes?
Yeah, I mean, I think the testing protocols that are going to be in place via the university addresses all those concerns. Obviously, there's always a possibility whenever you travel to bring something back. So that's obviously we're going to do our best to minimize those risks and hopefully not have anything happen at Bryant.
And going forward, what are you looking forward to the most this upcoming fall semester for sports?
Getting back and seeing some for any sports in action would be great.
Shifting focus here to Bryant basketball, I call some of the games for WJMF radio here on campus, and I was pleased to see Bryant basketball really making a positive step forward here and putting in together a really good team from my eye. I know a lot of that talent was lost because it was pretty much senior heavy, and the coach for Bryant basketball, he's been cited as basically casting a really, really large net for acquiring some talent. Where does that stand with the athletic department? How does like the Bryant basketball have the opportunity to cast that large of a net towards gaining talent?
Well, we're real excited and looking forward to a really good, exciting basketball season. I think Coach Grasso has done a great job upgrading the roster with a combination of grad school transfers, as well as some new and great freshmen. I think you're obviously aware we got the Player of the Year from the state of Rhode Island, the Gatorade Player of the Year. So I think there's a lot of anticipation for a great basketball season, and it's going to be fun. I mean, I think from a standpoint of casting a wide net, I think when you're at a school like Bryant, who's new to the Division I realm and doesn't really have a name for itself, we have to cast those wide nets because if we get lucky and get somebody, that's going to be great. If we didn't, it would be disappointing because I think we want to coach out there looking for the best possible talent to come to Bryant and play and be a student athlete.
As it goes to building a program, a Bryant basketball program, what do you think would be the biggest step in pushing into the upper echelon where you're at the forefront of NEC basketball conference and you're making your way into the playoffs every single year and making a deep run?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to get a better roster, and I think Coach Grasso's done a good job of kind of changing the team culture and getting to a point where the players want to play and they want to win, and I think that's been a huge improvement on the team, and I think that's something that's going to obviously pay dividends down the line. You have to get that breakthrough win and get that going, and once you get the going, it kind of feeds on itself.
And that's what I like, being a fan of Bryant sports and in calling the games for Bryant basketball, just sitting there courtside and actually seeing the amount of enthusiasm and the amount of passion he puts into a game. It's very contagious with the players. I mean, you saw Adam Grant having a really good year last year, and he's been through thick and thin with the team. And I was really pleased just to see, just from a facial expression and the amount of passion and the amount of fun that they're having out there. It's very contagious just from a fan perspective too, because then you can see an escalated amount of students who are willing to go there to the games in the Chase Center because it's actually fun to watch the team. And I do have to agree that this was a great signing by him. Was he the assistant coach for Iona? I think before
he was the associate head coach at Iona.
And seeing that that's now a basketball program that has a marquee name in why am I forgetting his name?
Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino, yes, thank you. He's got a marquee name in Rick Pitino, so that'll be an interesting adjustment for that team. But I think it's really contagious, the environment that he progresses for that Bryant basketball team, and I'm really looking forward to this upcoming season. So when I look forward to Bryant University sports, you look forward to success and you look forward to students having fun. Obviously, that's compromised during the COVID-19 era because it's going to be a struggle to actually get fans in the stands and also the local Smithfield faithful in there. From a student athlete perspective, do you think that's a major loss for them? of not having the typical fan base that they could have?
I mean, I think it's a loss. I don't know whether it's a major loss. I think everybody's really looking just to kind of get back to some sort of normal and be able to see, obviously college sports and professional sports. So I think anything we can do to get that out there is going to be a huge improvement for morale, not only on campus but in the community in general. I mean, obviously with our NEC front row background, we have a great opportunity to get our product out on there, out into the community without having to worry about actually having people in the stands, which is a huge benefit for us.
Yeah, and from the Bryant basketball perspective, I've loved listening to and watching John Wallach's call a game. Obviously, being a
Yeah.
98.5 sportscaster, he does an excellent job. And even beyond 98.5 in the Toucher and Rich in the Morning show that he does, he also fills in for Sean Grandy for the Celtics games. So it's always nice to hear him calling the games, and he's a very personable guy. So it's fun seeing up the games.
Yeah, it's great having John. John's been associated with our program for almost 20 years now. He also does the announcing at our home football games as well. So he's a great asset, and we love having him on our sidelines and calling our games.
What is how profound of effect has the new weightlifting facility had in the recruiting process? I mean, being a non-student athlete and you walk past there, it just looks really cool in there. And I know it's a large capital investment that the school put in there to kind of elevate the talent into a profound D1 level. Does that really have a huge swing in the recruitment process?
Oh, absolutely. I think that facility combined with all of our other facilities, we have an unbelievable arrangement with our athletic facilities. I think we're very fortunate and very lucky to have all the quality facilities we have, and the strength and conditioning facility. I can tell you that recruits come in there and they can't believe it. And we actually have had some big time recruits that have brothers or sisters or that are big time programs, and they compare our facility to some of the big BCS programs, and we stack right up there with that facility. So I think we're very fortunate to have that. The Conity indoor facility is another excellent facility that we're very fortunate to have that a lot of other people in the Northeast don't have. So we're very, very lucky there.
Yeah, and I think success will follow from that. I mean, Bryant hasn't been a D1 school for that long. I think, did you come into D1 in 2009?
Correct. It was our first year of official D1.
So obviously it takes time for any school to kind of build something up, and taking the investment, whether that be the indoor facility, the weightlifting facilities, the fields themselves, I think that will go a long way in not only retaining talent from potentially transferring, but also getting talent to transfer to Bryant and also accepting full term at Bryant. So I believe that athletics, as time goes on, will only progress, and hopefully not just become an NEC powerhouse, but maybe progress into the forefront into other athletic spheres. I'm very happy to interview you, John Ruppert, and I thank you for your time. And go Books, go Bulldog.
That's right. Go Books, go Bulldogs. And Cole, thank you very much. It's been great, and hope to see you on campus soon.
All right. Thank you very much.